and it's lights out and away we go. Sainz gets away well, as does Lando Norris, as does Lewis Hamilton, who's already ahead of Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen into Abbey takes the lead ahead of Carlos Sainz, and at the back that's George Russell out of this race, who's finished in the top 5 in every race this season, but he's out by the time they get to turn 1. Off the track there goes Charles Leclerc, and the red flag has now come out to make racing redundant. There's the initial content. That's where the car then is upside down onto the gravel, and then it flips and tries to right itself, and as it does so, that's by the barriers, and then it goes over the tyre barrier. And is it Gasly that makes the contact?
Basically, George was coming a little bit left, and they pincered Gasly in the middle, and it's immediately just the face of the tyre contact has just flipped the car completely over.
Stefano Domenicali in conversation with Joe Guanyu, making sure he's okay. Sebastian Vettel goes into the back of Alex Albon. Yeah, gets the tap, nothing he can do, sent into the barriers, just avoids Daniel Ricciardo, and I think then makes contact with Esteban Ocon. What's going to happen second time around here at Silverstone? British Grand Prix, lights out, away we go. They weren't held for long. Sainz comes over to cover off Verstappen, almost pushing him into the pit wall, but he might have to yield this. Does make the move around the outside and stays ahead. Sergio Perez now challenging down the inside. Hamilton's dropped a place or two, and he's now tangling with Charles Leclerc. It's Carlos Sainz out in front, down the inside. Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez make contact. Sainz from Perez, then from Verstappen, then Leclerc, then comes Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton, and Lando Norris now going wheel to wheel with the Mercedes. Sainz into Brooklands he goes. Leclerc tries to go around the outside of Max Verstappen and goes off the track in the process.
That's the second time they've made contact in this lap alone. A much better restart then for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton unlucky that he got put back into his original grid slot, and he's side by side through Woodcote.
He was side by side. He's now behind Lando Norris as into Copse we go. There is damage to that front wing of Sergio Perez Red Bull. Perez now comes into the pits. That frees up the McLaren and the Mercedes.
He has to come in and get that fixed.
Right, DRS for Hamilton, not for Norris this time around. Hamilton gaining on Norris, and as we get into Brooklands by the BRDC clubhouse, you can hear the cheers. Ooh. Carlos Sainz going off onto the grass there. I thought he recovered it, but he hadn't recovered it sufficiently. Verstappen sees the error by Carlos Sainz and swoops into the lead at the start of the hangar straight. Verstappen, the championship leader, now ahead of Carlos Sainz. Verstappen's in
very
trouble.
Slow.
Either he's
slow.
gone off the track or he's got a problem with the car, because Carlos Sainz, who 2 laps ago lost the lead to Max Verstappen, is now going to retake the lead, and the crowd absolutely loving that.
Puncture, we think puncture.
That front exploded bleeding. I think I have a puncture or something.
Okay, Max, can confirm it's bodywork damage, loss of rear. It is not critical, so you are able to continue, but you will have a performance loss.
So this is not good enough. We are swapping the cars.
Copy.
Carlos Sainz letting Charles Leclerc past, and Leclerc getting the DRS as well to help him make that move very seamlessly indeed.
Have a problem, guys. I can't take it to the corners.
I'll tell you what, if he stops here, we'll get at least a virtual safety car.
Yes, we do have a safety car here at Silverstone. In comes Carlos Sainz, in comes Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc stays out as we get racing again, and Sergio Perez isn't far off Lewis Hamilton, because he could make a charge in that Red Bull. Hamilton's going to be under pressure as Leclerc leads Sainz, leads Hamilton, leads Perez into Abbey.
Yeah, Hamilton struggled for grip off the last corner for some reason. That's put Perez onto him. Perez may have a go up the inside of turn 4, and he's going around the outside and switches back as well. Will he get better traction off the corner? He's got the line then.
Oh, and off the track goes Charles Leclerc as Carlos Sainz retakes the lead of this British Grand Prix. Hamilton and Perez are going wheel to wheel. Perez is ahead of Hamilton. Back comes Sainz and Leclerc. Leclerc behind his teammate Carlos Sainz, who at the restart didn't think about the team, thought about himself, and wants to win a race for the first time. Perez is catching Charles Leclerc, he takes him towards the inside. Perez on the inside, Charles Leclerc gives him just enough space. Can Perez squeeze past? They're going wheel to wheel towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track, cuts the chicane. Off goes Leclerc, through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff coming out of the final corner. Perez says thank you very much. Another thing opens up for him.
Perez comes up the inside, he's taking the place back. Hamilton hangs it out around the outside. He's run out of road. Leclerc's still in the hunt as well.
So Leclerc trying to get that place back from Hamilton. He has. Hamilton was forced off the track. I wonder what will be said about that. But goes through Charles Leclerc, who's got DRS to pull away from Lewis Hamilton. And arriving on the scene, Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris as well. 5 cars separated by about 20 metres here. Perez goes through. Hamilton gets just blocked a little bit by Leclerc. Here comes Fernando Alonso down towards Cobbs.
Hamilton had to get out of the throttle. He was pushed to the outside there, and Alonso then couldn't make anything of that.
There goes Hamilton round the outside at Brooklands. No, can't get past there, but he forces Charles Leclerc wide, and now through Luffield, he's just inching ahead, urged on by the crowd. The roars of the crowd willing Hamilton back onto the podium, and he does move up into 3rd place. Can he hold that position, though, going into Cobbs? They're going side by side, Leclerc and Hamilton through Cobbs. Wow, what great drama, what great entertainment. And there is Charles Leclerc still ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
And Leclerc will not give up, despite his tyres.
He might have to now, though, because Hamilton's a lot closer, and DRS finally helping Hamilton get ahead and potentially stay ahead. And you can hear the roars of the crowd, whatever colour caps they're wearing. A man making his 150th start from pole position is going to take victory, and for the first time in Formula One, Carlos Sainz is victorious. He wins the British Grand Prix. Sergio Perez, a brilliant recovery from him, takes 2nd. Lewis Hamilton's on the podium for a 13th time here at Silverstone. Carlos Sainz on top of the world, on top of the podium after a tip-top British Grand Prix.